Hi everybody. Okay, so living with diabetes, not exactly your best friend, but a friend you can kind of learn to get along with. So I have type 2 diabetes, which in my other videos you know that. And so that's not the same as type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, you are dependent on shots of insulin. And so type 2 diabetes, I don't have to give myself insulin shots. I just take the metformin twice a day. So my body doesn't quite know what to do with the insulin that it makes. So the metformin is, it kind of tells the body, distribute the insulin like now, because she ate and she needs it. So distribute it. So that's kind of sort of what it does. So I take it in the morning and at night. And my grandmother was diabetic, and it's hereditary. So we have a very, very small family. Actually, sadly, my grandmother lost her sister and her brother, twin brother actually, before the age of 20. So it's only just my grandmother. And then she only just had two girls. So one is my mother and one is my aunt. And on my aunt's side, there is no diabetes. And on my mother's side, it's me. Now we're pretty healthy, all the rest of the stuff, heart disease, kidney disease, and cancer and all that stuff, knock on wood. So we are pretty healthy that way. It's just the diabetes that I inherited from my mother's side of the family. So now I look back on her and how she had to give herself the shots, and I'm so thankful that I don't have to do that. But if you do have to do that, it's okay. You can get through all this. It's just a matter of knowing kind of like what your body wants and needs, and that would be basically fuel or food. And then the insulin, depending on if you take metformin, that'll be handled that way, or if you take the shots, you get your insulin that way. So it's all good. Once you figure out your meals, your meals and your exercise is probably the biggest thing. For the person that says, yeah, I don't have diabetes, yeah, I'm not going to stop drinking beer, yeah, I'm not going to do this, yeah, I'm not going to do that. That person won't be able to do that forever. It's over a period of time, your glucose in your bloodstream, in your blood system, will remain high and stay high, and then it'll start doing damage either to kidneys. You'll have kidney problems, you'll have heart problems because of your vessels, you'll have stroke possibly, you'll have all sorts of medical issues. And that's, I've seen it happen, like working in a hospital and just knowing a lot of people. I've just seen it happen where people just are in denial. They won't do, what's recommended by their doctor, and they just think that they're immune and stubborn and all that other stuff, and so they won't, so they'll have problems until they either, change their eating habits and all that. So, but where my family is so small, like we really are very blessed. Even though I have diabetes, I can say that because we don't have a lot of medical problems that people do have. And one thing, after another. And it's hereditary in the family. So, a lot of, more than one person can have die of heart disease and it's not always diabetes that's going to be the cause of it. It is hereditary, so cancers is not from diabetes, and you just get cancer because of genetics or environment, if you're around chemicals and things like that. So for whatever reason, but when I think of it, I think, gee, we have diabetes in my family, but I really am truly blessed because that's the only thing that I have that I get to complain about. But not that I want to, but I wasn't surprised. Let's put it this way. I wasn't really surprised when the doctor told me that, my blood sugar was higher than it should have been when I had my testing done, and I had the, type 2 diabetes. But actually, at first, I thought, well, I can do this. I'm not new to all this stuff. I can do this. And what you figure out later on, that really you've got to seek the help of maybe a dietitian, or you got to get online and you got to check out different foods and learn, all this stuff about different foods and salt and sugar. Stay away from salt and sugar. If it's white, don't bite. That's how they say it, and that I thought that was funny. But so it's a lot of like planning and figuring out what you like, basically. What do you like to eat? And what are you going to set your menu up as far as 7 days a week? And I rotate my menus. When I'll have like one thing one week, and then I'll go to the other week that I have planned out, and I'll buy all those things. And I do that for I think I have like 5 or 6 different things, and then I start back at one again. And so it's not really all that hard. I kind of know the stuff by now. I might forget what week I'm on, but I'll figure it out. So high blood sugar is hyperglycemia. Just think of hyper as being over too much, overactive, over like hyper kids. And so hyperglycemia is high blood sugar. And when we eat carbohydrates, they affect our blood glucose. So carbohydrates from vegetables and fruits and whole grains are the desired ones. The carbohydrates we get from sugars and fats and stuff like that are not the desired ones. So you'll learn right off the bat, one of the first things, even if you love it like I do, potatoes, it's starchy, and starchy makes sugar. And so there you go. You have your high glucose. So, and this is stored as fat. So your sugar makes fat. So, it's pretty easy, high. That's why like Atkins and all those diets out there, they're like low carbohydrates, because high carbohydrates make starch, make sugar, make fat. So it's pretty easy that way. And, what you really need is proteins. Proteins doesn't raise your sugar in your, like the carbohydrates do. So proteins is desired. You need proteins from eggs, fish, meat, and then you get some from your vegetables. But type 2 diabetes, proteins makes your insulin work faster and work better. So sometimes like if you're feeling jittery or whatever, sometimes you want to like go grab a protein shake or whatever. But sometimes that's not what you should do. You should probably just sit down and eat something. But the different shakes that they have out there are a good substitute for a meal. But But other times that's not what you need. You need to sit down and have something to eat. And so when you get yourself a tablet, get yourself a tablet, and make yourself things that you like, things that you want to eat, and then take your list with you and go shop for these things. There's like 5 different food groups. There's grains and starches, that's 1. There's vegetables, that's 2. There's fruits, that's 3. There's milk alternatives, that's 4. And there's meat or alternatives, that's 5. So you kind of like pick and choose, like your grains and stuff. That'd be like your whole wheat bread with grains in it, or your different granolas, or different cereals with all your grains in it and whatever. But those are always have like eggs on hand. Like I always have rye bread or pumpernickel, whatever. I prefer that over white, but if you don't like that and you like white, then you can have a couple slices of white bread. That's allowed. So you have to have a little bit of everything, just not all of like one thing, and stay away from sweets. So no cake, no pies, no cookies, no cinnamon rolls, no ice cream. Now, there's diet stuff out there. So don't freak out. There's diet stuff there. You can, and it has no sugar in. Might have aspartame in there. Might have phenolphthalein, I think. It's a sugar substitute. It might give you a headache. So, all right, do's and don'ts. Do eat 6 meals a day. That's 3 of your normal meals, breakfast, lunch, supper, and 3 snacks. So mid-morning snack, afternoon snack, or in between lunch and supper. So you have your afternoon snack and then your night snack, and kind of eat at the same time. So if you're a person that's working the night shift or the afternoon afternoon shift, just work your schedule where you're eating approximately the same time. Eat from those 5 food groups that I said, and then explore a little bit. What are your alternatives? What you can give up? If you like pinto beans, for instance, you can give that up for a meat. So there's certain things that you can like take and go back and forth, and really it all kind of just fits. Once you start doing all this stuff, you'll see how it all just fits. I don't like tofu, but if you like tofu, you can substitute that for a chicken or hamburger. You can substitute making yourself something with tofu. Get away from drinking the sodas. Don't drink the sodas with all the sugar in there. Don't eat anything like donuts and cakes and pies and all that stuff with all the sugars in there. Start watching on the back of things. What is your sugars and your carbohydrates, and stay low with the carbohydrates and low with the sugar if don't have any sugar. Buy more meat, like fish. Fish is in the meat group, so you can do salmon, tuna fish. You can buy the little cod fillets. You can up your fish a little bit more. Have tuna fish like more than you did have. If you don't have tuna fish a lot, start to incorporate that into your lunch meal, or have tuna noodle casserole or something like that. But just kind of explore different things which you can put in there. Always make a shopping list. Go by the menu that you make out. And like I said, once you get a menu, like you'll start out, you'll get 1 week, and then you'll add another week. And then as time goes on, you'll add a 3rd week. And you'll have yourself, a notebook of weeks. You can jot that down into a grocery list and always have that with you, and then rotate weeks. That's how I do it. And so plan your meals. Sit down and make, if you want a steak or something like that, do that. Put that in one of your meals. You can just have a steak and a salad, something like that. But you can buy those already prepared, the Lean Cuisine or the Weight Watchers. You can buy some of them and you can substitute them in, because they have on the back what's the calories, carbohydrates, sugars. It's all right there on the back of the box. So you can substitute that for a lunch or supper if you want to. Make yourself a large dinner plate of a salad and put your proteins on top, like your chicken or whatever. You can even buy the rotisserie chickens all done, and then you can cut them up and then throw them on top of a salad. We do a lot of that. We go to Sam's Club, and just about all your different supermarkets have the rotisserie chickens. And then I save some of that for the next day, and that's my lunch. And I'll make a salad. And and I'll have that maybe for dinner. But you put on top of there your tomato, your olives if you want, cheese if you want, red onion if you want, some peas. Do whatever. Just load that thing right up, and you won't be hungry. So like an example, like what I'll have I'll switch off, of course, but for breakfast I'll have my coffee because I just like coffee, and if you don't, then you have what you want, and I'll have a cup of Cheerios. Now, sometimes I'll switch off and I'll get Raisin Bran or another, and then I might have a glass of apple juice. I might even have 2 cups of coffee sometimes. That's just my breakfast, and I take my pills. And then snack is a half a banana. That's mid-morning, and it doesn't, it can be like around 10 or whatever is your schedule, but make it like close, like in that hour. So, and then lunch, sometimes I just have tuna. Sometimes I have a sandwich. Sometimes I have turkey sandwich. Sometimes I have chicken sandwich. Lunch is whatever you want lunch to be. It can be prepared already, bought already in the freezer, and you can just whip yourself up. I had tacos. Yeah, you can have tacos, but I had egg roll the other day for lunch. So you could switch it up as long as you stay within your calorie amount. Just look on the back of the box, and 2 egg rolls was 180 calories. And so it's very easy to figure out a menu. Snack, my snack sometimes, other than crackers or peanut butter crackers like that, or cheese crackers, sometimes my snack is a yogurt, a thing of applesauce, or a hard-boiled egg. I always have hard-boiled eggs in the refrigerator. And when my stomach feels ucky and I know it's time to put something in it and have a snack, that'll be the snack I choose. So, and I don't have bread or anything with it. I might just have mustard or something with it, but not salt, nothing like that. But I'll have a hard-boiled egg. The other snack that I have on hand is graham crackers. That's a snack. And then you can put butter in it and make yourself a little sandwich. And that's a graham cracker butter sandwich snack. So, but your snacks can be like popcorn at night. That could be a snack. But just a little bowl. Now I just have to watch it a little bit on what I eat because I have diverticulosis. In popcorn, because I mentioned it, made me think of it. A lot of people don't have any problem with popcorn, but I do. That's one of the things that will just make me sick. So I can't eat popcorn, unless I want to be sick. It'll just, make me have a stomach ache and, mess up my bowels and all that stuff. But some foods do that because I have diverticulosis. But I kind of just stay away from that, and I do okay with that. And if you don't have that problem, then you're all good to go. So basically, it's like sitting down and figuring out, what you're going to buy and how much money do you have, you can go get, your certain TV dinners and that. And if I do, I'll make a video. I was thinking about going online or calling on the Nutrisystem, but I got a funny feeling it's going to be not within my budget. So, but I'll figure it out, what I spend normally for groceries, and I'll kind of compare and see how far it's off. But I plan to do that here this week or next week, but hopefully this week. I'll let you know how I do that and how I make out with that, I should say. And but I've got to figure out how much I'm used to spending on my food budget, and then how much would I spend if I was to buy the Nutrisystem, because with diabetes they have a Nutrisystem D now, and I don't know if they've always had it or whatever, but I've seen the advertisements and I don't know really anything about it, so that's why I said I have to check, or maybe you have checked, so you can put it in the comments below. But or maybe you do already get the Nutrisystem meals. So I'd love to hear about that if you want to put that in the comment section below. But so the thing is, and I always think about kids. Like I'm obviously not a kid, but obviously, but how kids kind of feel ucky if their sugar is up and down, even if they're not diabetic. Just say they ate candy or something and their sugar went up and then it came down. Well, I know how my head feels when my sugar goes up and then it comes down. I feel rotten sometimes, and it kind of always makes me think about kids that when, you know, they have a lot of sugars and candy and stuff like that, and then they cranky and whiny and all that stuff, and I go, yeah, you know, if I was a kid, that's probably how I would act. But anyway, so that's my little tip on diet, and like I said, I'll be doing another video and more about foods and stuff like that. And I do have to find out about the Nutrisystem D. I have to see what that's all about, and then I will give you heads up on that when I do my next video. So I hope you've liked my video, subscribe, give me thumbs up, like me, and good luck with your diabetes. It's you know, we can do this. You know, it takes a little bit, but we can do this. And I don't know what faith, you know, you are and or where you're with that, but you know, we can get through this, and with God's help, we will get through this. So it's not like a big thing, and I hope that you don't, you know, you're not bummed out, and I hope this has helped you a little bit. So have a wonderful day.